Om Shri Ganeshaya Namo Namah. Greetings to everyone, world over, all our brothers and sisters across the globe, wherever you are, 32 million Indian residents, the non resident Indians, those have gone abroad in different countries, in different continents, and they are in different time zones. So it's a green morning, green afternoon, and green evening, wherever you are, world over. We extend you a very hearty welcome and happy Teachers' Day because in India, 5th of September, we celebrate as Teachers' Day. That is, of course, we know the relevance very well. It was the Dr. Sarupalli Radhakrishnan ji, his birthday, and he dedicated to the nation and he told, I dedicate my birthday to teachers and to education ecosystem. So, ladies and gentlemen, today on 5th of September, Thursday, 2024, 7:30 p.m., we hereby take on this journey forward. And today, there's a unique combination and there's a wonderful combination. World over, everybody keeps talking about Finland, Finland education, Finland teachers, Finland education ecosystem. So today, why not we should take you to Finland and let's learn, let's understand, and let's get deep into innovative Finnish education practices, what exactly the Finland is doing. We understand as human beings why I am here, why I'm here on this planet, what I am contributing on this planet, why God has sent me, and what have I done so far, and what all I should do in my remaining time, what I've got in this planet. So every day is a new beginning, and today, let's begin a new journey, all of us together. This is the 5th edition of Chamber for Service Industry Finishing School Digital Inspirational Lab dedicated to the nation on Happy Teachers' Day, India Teachers' Day, 5th of September. And this is totally having about 50 chapters, small chapters. We are going on capability building of teachers and youth empowerment, education, empowerment, educators, entrepreneurship, employment, economy, and then, of course, services exports. That means, good teacher, why don't you give your valuable inputs and intellectual capital for the global, the confluence and podlocking of your expertise. So through the finishing school, digital inspirational lab, with one tagline of our chamber, making education and skills relevant. We are in this journey right from the beginning and be more amazing than yesterday and less than tomorrow. So, ladies and gentlemen, join me in extending very warm welcome to our distinguished guest all the way coming from Finland and to be with us on this particular platform, sharing the vision, what all is happening in Finland. With these words, on behalf of entire India, all my fellow teachers, educators, trainers, counselors, coach, mentors, anybody who is in education ecosystem, we extend a very warm welcome to two our distinguished guests. Let them introduce themselves and they will give us the complete inputs what is happening in Finland. I know only this much that the temperature is varying between somewhere 20 to 25 degrees over there. Rest of the things, let's pick up from them. Hearty welcome and a pleasure to have both of you. And of course, Sapna Nanda ma'am, I'll introduce in a little while. Please go ahead.
Namaste, everyone, and really thank you for the warm welcome. My name is Joachim Rouli, and I'm calling indeed today from Helsinki, Finland, from the capital of Finland, a nation of approximately 5.5 million people, and I work in an organization called Council for Creative Education, which I'm going to would love to tell a little bit more about our work and how that ties to also Indian educational policies and teachers' lives and training in the future as well. But before getting ahead of myself, I'd like to open the stage for Mr. Heram Kulkarni, our director and founder as well. Heram, would you do the honors?
Thanks. Thanks, Joachim, and greetings and namaste to everyone, and a special thanks to Major Dr. Sharma. It's really a great honor to have interaction with Dr. Sharma, and it has been a kind of we are connected for quite long, but it was this webinar, I think, where made it possible, and that is because of the initiation of Dr. Sharma, that we are meeting on a very auspicious day as far as the India is concerned. So my name is Hiram Kulkarni. By heart, I'm an Indian, but I'm located here in Finland for last 19 years. I came to Finland in 2005. But we always say that once you are out of India, you become more Indian. So that's why actually, so my work is connected to India. We have office also in India. But actually I also stay in a Helsinki area city called Espoo. And today, really, the temperature is quite hot here. Actually, it's 25 degrees. It really even though we have this air condition here, which normally we don't need it here, but still we need to open it once, maybe a couple of weeks of the summer. And this is an extended summer for us. And we have education visitors coming from across the globe. Last week, we had a group from South Africa. Next week, we have getting a group from Singapore, India, USA, and Australia. So I'm sure that the Indians who will come from there, they will be a bit disappointed to see this kind of warm weather here only for a couple of days. But don't worry, we are getting snow in the next month very soon by October last week. Thank you very
Wonderful.
much.
Wonderful. So I would hand over to both of you. You can take the journey forward because we are keen today to learn about Finland, education ecosystem, what all is happening, how the students they move up. Because we say that there's a less of competition, more of collaboration, and it is easy to get into any other profession than to becoming a teacher. That something is, amazing, and we wish to learn more. People are joining us all the way from overseas also. And Mr. Vikas Malhotra, a prominent NRI who is leading into tourism in, Toronto. He is joining. He is the first person to be over there. Of course, others also, those are joining. We extend a very hearty welcome to all of you. Thank you very much for being a part of today's journey. And we extend a very hearty welcome. Professor Tamta, you are doing wonderful job because you are into tribal area, into tribal university. And I can understand a 4 hours drive all the way from Jabalpur. Okay. And we have got many others. I will keep sharing after some time. Please go ahead.
Yes, Joachim will continue. Please, Joachim.
Mr. Joachim, unmute.
Certainly.
Yes. Yeah.
Certainly. Thank you. And let me just get started there. But first, maybe I would like to introduce a little bit about what we do. What's the purpose of Council for Creative Education? Why do we exist? And we have, first of all, quite a unique background where our founders, Mr. Hiram Kulkarni and his wife, Shirin Kulkarni, founded the organization. And then having this expertise or understanding of different cultures and coming from India, having relocated in Finland, having built their lives in Finland, having studied in Finland, also understanding about what is the culture about, what is the education about as an experience here. And while having then the connection to Finland and having our expert team working together, I think it creates quite a unique setting where we are able to navigate between these two worlds, between these countries and curriculums as well. But when we discuss about our community, it spans approximately 10,000 people all around the world. Even though we are located in Finland, we are a truly global network, which consists indeed of approximately 10,000 people, which consist of teacher students in universities, teachers themselves, and other educators in organizations, leadership and principals, as well as in municipalities and decision makers, and a really, really important stakeholder nowadays, are parents who really want to be involved in the learning process of the learner, of the student of the world. And the other thing that connects our participants or network is that the curiosity towards Finnish education, and that comes from the will of providing absolute best of the best to their learners and educators as principal. And in order to do that, we look into some of the best practices of Finnish educational policies and practices, and we look at what are some of the best practices in, for example, in Indian educational practices, and then we localize and bring some of the best ones and combine them. And how we do that, I'm going to show you in just a moment. Let's share my screen. Here we are. Here we are. There.
Yes. When we go with Mr. Joycom and Mr. Kulkarni further, people those are joining us on the YouTube, if you put your college name or institution's name or organization's name, it'll be easy for us because we would like to get back to each one of you, and we'll give you a complimentary certificate of today's participation for this special program on India Teachers Day. So keep writing your details so that we can get linked with each other later. And with that, I hand you over back to Mr. Joycom Rowley.
Thank you so much. I hope that my screen is visible and in full screen.
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
Good. Good to hear. Good to hear. So indeed, our mission is to redefine education through creativity. As well, we have had very enriching conversation with Dr. Sharma as well. It includes a very important point, and that includes curiosity. Because without the other, there's no one. And we really want to take this opportunity of including creativity and curiosity into everything in education and bringing this as much as possible into educational practices when it comes to teacher training or curriculum design or assessment or the materials that we use. But it also includes this very holistic approach of the learner's well-being, and I will discuss a little bit in a further note about what are some of the unique aspects of Finnish education and what are some of the very close similarities and connecting points as well. Some of our solutions include, and the way we operate, involve professional development of teachers, of parents, of leaders. And I'm going to discuss a little bit further about what that includes. Another important factor is school development projects and developmental aspects of accreditation as well. And that is actually one of the original reasons why we exist in the first place, is that there was demand for how to set up a school that runs with Finnish educational policies and curriculum. And we wanted to start as a supportive role there, as a consultant as well, and as a guide in that process, as a partner. And of course, we could talk about Finnish education throughout this webinar next week and the next week after, but it would never be the same if you did not have the opportunity to experience it your first hand. So that's why we also bring people to Finland to experience everything and to celebrate educators all around the world. And the most published research is that we talked about, and we gather in conferences throughout the year and see what the published research is. We have hackathons, we have an opportunity to network and come together as a community and as a network. Because without research, there's no innovation either. So when it comes to professional development, we indeed work with teachers, students, educators, educational leadership, and parents. And even though there are many, many different topics, I wanted to highlight some that we have been working especially close with Indian educators and schools, both in public and private schools and international as well, is early childhood education programs, teacher training programs, social emotional learning, which is a very, very topical aspect, having educational leadership courses and programs, as well as ICT skills and including AI, which is something that we cannot get rid of, but we must approach with respect, but also with curiosity and opportunities, and as well as curriculum design and assessment of what goes into some of the best practices of assessing students or building curriculum in the Finnish educational setting. And these programs or courses can last anywhere between approximately 6 weeks up to 6 months. So it is really up to meeting the school, meeting the educators, meeting the organization and principals, and see what the needs are. What are the goals that we want to achieve together, and then designing this learning journey for that supports it. Well, as school development, we have really extensive programs that can last from 3 to 5 years, which can begin from having only the space or land for school, but then having the will and curiosity of building something ground up together. It can include having collaboration between local architects, then coming together and planning these wonderful learning spaces that respect the local demands as well, but also bringing some of the new innovation of when it comes to learning spaces. Then when it comes to accreditation itself, it is a bit more lighter version, which is a very reflective process of approximately 6 months. When it comes to accreditation, it is valid for 2 years and consists of having this really reflective journey where the school or organization looks into what are the current processes, what are their goals that they want to reach, and what are the current processes that they have in place as a plan to reach that. Then we have an expert committee over and reviewing this material and supporting creating an entire 360-degree analysis and report of what are your current structures, what are the current tools in place. We have an on-site visit of seeing this ourselves, visiting and talking with teachers, talking with principals, with parents, with learners themselves, and seeing what is the current situation. And then we are able to start designing these programs that help them to get where they want to get in either short or longer term. And these are designed for very innovative schools and organizations that want to provide the excellence and highlight also their success. So this doesn't go unnoticed, and we want to highlight the successes in our network as well and celebrate this together. And something that is very, very personal as a Finnish person, sisu is a term that is very difficult to translate. It is something that defines us Finnish people as a nation as well. It came during the Second World War when we were against a mightier enemy, a mightier nation at the time. And it means something like perseverance, of not giving up when everybody else are giving up, no matter how desperate the situation might look like or what the outcomes might be. So in order to honor this, we wanted to come up with a research-based toolkit for especially preschool and kindergarten teachers. And this is a good example of how research transforms into a product that can be then transformative and shared throughout the world. So this is a box of approximately this size, but it includes all the kind of essentials that early childhood educator needs in order to share with their students, with their learners. And the idea is that it doesn't matter what kind of environment do you have. It doesn't matter if you have walls in place. It doesn't matter if you have tables or chairs, but as long as you have the material or the concept, you are able to teach some of the most essential parts to these young learners. These include emotional intelligence, personal and social skills, linguistics and cognitive skills. And I won't go too much further into that. But something that I really want to highlight is that we cannot take the credit of all this, because we would not be able to do this alone without our numerous partners that include universities, governments, schools, companies, and other private entities and parties. And because, for example, without universities, we would not be able to practice, we would not be able to train the newest university teachers, we would not be able to have the newest research. Without governments, we would not be able to have the reach that we do, especially also with public schools, and reach the right schools that need us. Without schools, we would not be able to test and get feedback and have this continuous interaction. And without companies, we would not have the most recent technology in place and showing us the way which direction we're going. So this is a long monologue about Council for Creative Education Finland. Heram, is there anything that you would like to add at this point before we proceed to some of the marvels of Finnish education or specialities?
Yeah, I think you have explained very in depth about CCE, and as well as got a bigger picture what exactly we are looking at. I think it's a good time that we should concentrate now more towards what are the specialities of Finnish education, and mainly today is a Teachers' Day, and greetings to all the teachers. And I can see good messages coming on the YouTube as well. So Major Sharma, it's really amazing that you have built this community together, and we can see it live here. So one of the question which is by Mrs. Indu Sharma, saying that what is the duration of the teachers training program? So that's a question. Maybe I will take that question to the start with, and then we can go to the next step. So CCE Finland, we have a teacher training program, which are short-term training programs as well as long-term training programs. Short-term training programs, which are typical in-service teachers, they take for, and they go from online programs from a couple of hours till up to 6 months. So we have some diploma programs, some of the certificate courses, and these are the programs which are based on research, and as well as they are based on the localization and contextualization of the curriculum. So Finnish curriculum is a highly adaptable, flexible, but more skill-oriented curriculum. Major Sharma just mentioned about the emphasis on the skill. We are going towards that point in another 20 minutes, but I will explain about that part, what exactly skill-based curriculum means and how Finland is approaching that part. But for that matter, we have created all our coursework with the very practical implementation approach, and all these courses are online and in person in hybrid. So you are more than welcome to do some courses here in Finland as well. See Finnish schools. Whatever we are talking, whether it is really worth of it, once you come and see it, then you will see the real difference. And as well as we do these courses also in different countries, including India. We have been active in India for last more than 13 years out of our work, and we have been working with many state governments as well as with some schools, and we will talk about it. So the typical timeline for the course is from couple of hours till 6 months for in-service teachers, and as well as for the teachers who are teacher students, we have it long-term courses. That's in brief. Yes, Joachim, I think we can go to the specialities of Finnish education then.
Certainly. Thank you, Heram, for answering that. And let's see. Yes. So there's been discussion about, so why do we focus on Finnish education system, and what are some of the specialities that describes it? And I have to say in the very beginning that as part of my work, I get a chance and an honor to interact with a lot of educators around the world, and especially with Indian educators and principals, and then the ways that you are taking some of these matters forward and in the new educational policies. is just inspirational, and you are doing some absolutely fantastic work, and happy Teachers Day. When it comes to Finnish education system, one of the special things is equity and inclusion. And what does it really mean in this context? Equity, in a way that we want to create equal opportunities for all to have a successful educational journey, have high education, and go towards their own passions and interests. And this means that there is something called positive discrimination in place in schools and municipalities. And that means that if a school is struggling, if the students are struggling, if the teachers are struggling, if the learning outcomes are poor, instead of punishing or penalizing them, reducing the resources, we notice that the municipalities and decision makers notice that this school is actually in need of more help. So they guide more resources into the school in order to be able to address some of the issues. Let's take an example of a certain area where there might be a lot of immigrant-based learners in a particular school, and where their first language might not be Finnish. So in order to address this and make sure that it's an equal setting, or it becomes equal, they start pouring more resources into having these preparatory classes where they focus on Finnish skills, but also in very practical ways in subject matters. When it comes to what is the best school, or the equality between schools, there's a saying that I also hear Heram saying very often, is that the best school where your child can go is the nearest school from your home, because it does not matter which school that they go. Approximately 99% of the schools in Finland are public schools. There are some examples of Montessori or something like this as private schools, but everything else are public schools. And what really goes into of creating these equalities is the teacher training, the level of teacher training, and the emphasis that we put into it, that they have the necessary skills in order to have the best possible outcomes. So in practice and in reality, your child might be in the same classroom of the prime minister's child. So that's what we want to focus on. And when it comes to our next part of inclusion, it is about the needs of different needs. If there might be some serious developmental challenges, or there might be some learning challenges. So the idea is that instead of sending a child who has specific needs somewhere else, they bring the support to the school. They bring the help to the child instead of sending them away anywhere else. And that comes of including them in the regular classrooms and having separate support in the classroom, just making sure that they feel included with the rest as well, and taking different type of educational needs into account. Then when we go to skill versus content, Heram also talked slightly about this, but emphasizing on skills instead of having these subjects that are separate or separated in isolation. But the idea is that no matter what do we learn, for example, in mathematics, we might be having decimals, or we might have fractions, that those fractions and the learning that we are doing and we want to transfer to our learner, it doesn't exist only in the mathematics classroom, but we want to take it outward. We want to give real life examples. What kind of skills can we tie into this? What kind of real life examples can we provide? And some of those are, for example, the practices of phenomenon-based learning and project-based learning that support also this type of practice. It shows also in the multidisciplinary weeks and multidisciplinary classrooms and topics where several subjects are tied together, and that also comes from the training of the teacher, that they have that in order to expect this from the teachers, we need to provide them the necessary tools in order them to transfer this knowledge. And of course, this goes in a bigger picture. It's about life skills. What kind of skills do we want to give to our learner, our child, in order to thrive in this world? So that really is about the difference of skill and content I want to focus on. Then we move to future ready. It already shows in the curriculum flexibility, which is regularly updated, and it's flexible also to be adapted to the newest trends that the world is taking place in. It takes an innovation and creativity, which are encouraged by supporting experimentation, and where failure is seen as just another way of learning, an opportunity to learn, instead of something negative. And of course, well-being is something that I'm seeing a lot in the conversations with Indian educators and principals, where they focus heavily on the well-being of their staff and their learners, because they realize that without having the balance of physical and mental health and well-being, and having these skills of approaching challenges or obstacles, there wouldn't be very balanced or productive learning environments, if we want to measure it like that. Well, continuous development. This means that the learning isn't static, but we are constantly looking outward, and what are the projects, what are the real events happening in the world? And this touches a little bit about the future ready already. So these also don't exist in isolation. And everything is developed and research, and it is not a top-down approach, but it comes from the teachers, and it comes from students, and students are also included in the process, which we'll also see in just a moment. And teacher autonomy is something that it's a kind of three-phased reality. And in order to have autonomy, the teachers must have certain skills. In order to have respect, teachers also must have autonomy to show that we trust them with their profession. We trust their skills in order to teach the best and have the best interest of our child or learner in their mind. But in order to have autonomy, we need to focus on the training. And a lot of emphasis goes into the curriculum design work and implementing curriculum in the classroom. But doesn't always happen in the universities and the classroom. So it has to happen in the municipality and decision-making level as well, where they leave enough room in the curriculum design when they design it in the national level, that the teachers and educators have the freedom and enough space to implement and have their own touch of how the curriculum will be shown in the classroom. And
Yes.
last but not least, student agency. And this shows in the practices of when we start educating them in an early childhood education centers, of how to give them some of the first signs of responsibilities and trust. What are some skills, and how they also know themselves of what kind of educational and learning methods do they prefer? How can a teacher take this into account in their learning journey? So it is not teacher pouring information to the students, but it is about open questions about these real life projects and phenomena that they learn together in the classroom and different environments. But it's been a long monologue. I want to open the space again, and Heran, would you like to have a word?
Yes, very much. I think it will be good idea that all these concepts we can go through one of the Finnish classroom. So will you be all interested in going through a virtual classroom experience in Finland? Maybe I will share you one of the photos and videos. And one of the areas actually from my window I can see a forest here because in next to my home I have a one of the famous forests next starting my home. And why Finland is one of the happiest country, it's not because people are always smiling and talking to each other. In fact, if you go to Finnish any tram or bus, you will not find people are smiling to each other, but the more importantly, people are connected to nature. And this nature integration and is really important, and that has been also been considered into the Finnish schools. So we have something which is very unique here in Finland, which is called as a forest schools. Now these forest schools, these are the schools which are happening in the forest every day. The students, whether it's a minus 20 degrees or plus 20 degree, in the morning at 8 o'clock they go to the forest which is nearby their school. They be there from 8 o'clock till 2 o'clock. They will have their lunch. They will have entire classroom experience in the forest. And if Joachim, you can give me the access for the sharing, I can share some of the photographs of that particular forest school so that you can really experience it, what exactly it mean by a forest. So
You have an access, sir. You can.
yes,
You have
excellent.
an
Yeah.
access. Yeah. And
Yes.
meanwhile, I extend a very hearty welcome from Toronto all the way to Canada, Mr. Vikas Malhotra. He posted 5, 6 questions. So immediately I sent him the link, which Mr. Joachim got. I told, if you want to come, why don't you come on the screen directly so that you can ask? Okay, let's have together. Please go ahead, Mr. Aaron.
Sure. Thanks. It's okay. Mr. Vikas Malhotra, welcome on this amazing panel.
I sent him the link which Mr. Joachim got. I told him, if you want to come, why don't you come on the screen so that you can ask? Okay, let's
Yes. I think Mr. Vikas, your microphone is on. That's why we can hear you back.
Yes.
Yes.
You got to. Vikasji, just mute your mic, please.
Sure.
Yeah. If you want to say a few words, you can in between before we go to Finland again.
Your microphone is on. That's why we can hear you.
Yes. Okay, please go ahead, Haramji.
Yes. Thank you. So this is an example of a forest school actually. So every day, students from Finnish schools, they experience forest. And that's why there is one word which the Joachim explained called teacher autonomy. Finnish curriculum is so flexible and open. It gives an opportunity for teacher to be free for developing its own teaching methods. Any school teacher can decide what he or she will teach, at what time, in what context, and that kind of autonomy is available. Now, because as I always say that even though I'm out of India, we are connected in India and we do our research on regular basis. I travel to India at least 3 times a year for my work. One of the things which we really see in many of the schools, that this autonomy is also available in the Indian teachers. Indian curriculum, NCERT gives enough autonomy. Unfortunately, we don't know how to take that freedom and autonomy in use. And for the same reason, for example, this is an example. Now, teacher is teaching basic language skills. What she has done, she has put a one simple paper on which she has put A, B, C, D up to alphabet up to Z. And now she has asked all the students in her class to go around the forest in a secured area and try to find the starting with that particular alphabet A, try to find any stick or any object which they can find in that forest environment. Similarly, she is helping them to teach about numbers, colors, understanding about various chemicals available in the atmosphere, various physical concepts, various biological concepts, and she had created an entire curriculum based on this. And every day, once they go to the forest, they develop their skills. Second important aspect, Finnish curriculum is so open that it gives an opportunity for the teachers to teach very practical hands-on subjects. So this is a Finnish school, which is a simple primary school, but it has ability to develop the skill. For example, this is a vocational 12th grade school, and they start developing about woodwork, examples about the handicrafts, various creative experiments. So these are the examples of the classrooms, which you can see it in Finland. And that gives an opportunity for teacher to experiment and for the teacher to try new things in an innovative way. And that's a major role. Now you may say that, okay, I'm talking only about Finland or something, but no, because we have done the research also based on the NEP, and we are proud that, okay, CCE is one of the partner organization for a couple of states where NEP implementation is in good progress. We have been actively working with Chhattisgarh. I saw that there was one gentleman who has joined from, and a lady joined from the tribal education department. In Chhattisgarh, we are working with a state which is 35% tribal population is there. We have been working with them since 2016 for implementing curriculum which is based on the learning outcomes and based on the skills. And with that part, we have really found out the ways in which this particular open curriculum skill-based framework can be developed. And to our really amazing experience, we can see that in this, our own national education policy, this is what I'm talking about, the national education policy itself. It really gives, this is from page 4 of the national education policy, initial draft, and then also for the teachers must be the center of the fundamental reform. It is the most respected and essential member of the society. But the most important part, it must do everything to empower the teachers, ensuring the livelihood, respect, and dignity. And that's why the autonomy and accountability, these are the two keywords mentioned in the national education policy. So this is what is expected as a part of NEP, but do we really do it or not? And it is not only one single way. There has been a plan which has been provided. So these particular references are from the national education policy. We can take some examples and reference, but for that we need to have one basic change that is happening. And unfortunately, means I really like how the NEP is evolving and how the NEP has been structured. But at the same time, we are missing one important aspect. NEP is in too much hurry to talk only about assessments. And we are talking too much about examinations and assessment instead of talking on the pedagogy. And once we discuss on the pedagogy, then when Finland was not what we are talking about Finland, it was not the case 50 years back. Way back in 1970, Finland was one of the poorest country from the European ranks. You will see that the per capita GDP of the Europe of Finland was much lower than many other European countries, as well as the economy was not so strong. It was based on mainly agricultural, forest, and mainly based on some basic services. But in a matter of 30 years, Finland made a major change from agricultural-based economy or industrial-based economy to knowledge-based economy, and produces companies like Nokia, Kone Elevators. Everybody knows Angry Birds. That's why it's a Rovio. So a company, a country which moved from completely from industry-based model to knowledge-based model and produced per capita highest patents. This is the vision of creating the NEPs to develop the knowledge-based economy. But for that, we need a vision of how to develop that knowledge part. And the teachers are the backbone. Today is a teacher's day, and that's the most important part teacher can do. There is nothing part is that they should practice their freedom, which they have. No one, not even education minister of your country or our country or any state, has ability to be part of your classroom. Teacher is the boss of that classroom, and that's what they do it. And this is what is one thing what we can learn from the Finnish experience. And actually, I really practice it. if you would like to experience this kind of things, I welcome Dr. Sharma to Finland, and please come and visit our schools here. We have schools visits coming in November, as well as we have next week we have programs. We have almost every week program, but November is a good timeline for many of the Indians to travel to Finland, and not only that, my team member colleague Joachim will be traveling to India to meet all of you during DIDAC. DIDAC is an amazing event happening on between 18th to 20th of September in next couple of weeks, where you can see all these experiences in practice in Delhi and meet one of the experts in the field of education. It is in this Yashobhumi next to airport, big expo hall. So please welcome and join in. And I think that would be a great opportunity for you to experience this. Thank you, Joachim, and thank you, Dr. Sharma, for giving this opportunity for us to speak.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's amazing. So much has come in such a short, crisp way. We have tried to pack. And 18th to 20th September, that is Sector 25, Dwarka, the Yashobhumi, which you have made a mention. That's once again, it goes down because Delhi is the center and everybody can reach over there. See, initially, I was thinking only Dr. Sapna Nanda is going to be there with me. She is the principal of Sector 20 in Chandigarh for the B.Ed College, which is a government college of education and which is the premier education institution for teacher education in Northern India. So I extend her a very warm welcome. She's right over here. But the temptation came, and when I got 5-6 questions from Canada, I thought, why not to get Vikas Malhotra? And when Mr. Haramji mentioned about Chhattisgarh, further temptation has gone, and maybe Professor Anil Tamta, he is a professor from, there is a Indira Gandhi National Tribal University, and that is about 3 to 4 hours journey from Jabalpur, which I was telling initially. He also may join us. I have sent the invite to him. If he joins, he's more than welcome. Sapna Nanda ji, short, crisp, something nice. First of all, it's such a pleasure and happy Teachers' Day. You're doing amazing job in entire North India because you're training the teacher. Your faculty is so dedicated and so devoted. And I'm very happy that initially I had some internal discussion a couple of days back with Mr. Joachim and Mrs. Kulkarni. And there we got, and today Mr. Joachim is very smart from Finland. He made a mention. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, from curiosity, we take a pledge and we come on to creativity. And before that, we come to curiosity. So I'm very, very happy because curiosity is more important even than the creativity onto which we are working. In Dr. Sapna Nanda's institute, we invited people from Dubai also. And there was a big program which we had organized over there. And we are going to set up the finishing school coming up over there with the Digital Inspiration Lab. Sapna Nanda, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Gulshan Sharma. Thank you so much for your kind words. And very distinguished and honorable speakers from Council of Creative Education Finland, Mr. Joachim Rolle sir, Mr. Haram Kulkarni ji, and other guests, Mr. Vikas Malhotra ji, and very, very distinguished and learned audience. Very good evening and greetings of the day. Sir, first of all, I would like to wish all the audience and the speakers on the dais very happy Teachers' Day. So this day is indeed blessed. I would like to share a good news that this college, Government College of Education, has been accredited with A+ grade today with CGPA of 3.36, and the result has been announced today for the accreditation assessment, which took last week, and it's a big day for us.
Wow.
Super. Congratulations.
Heartiest congratulations, ma'am. Wonderful.
Thank you so much. We are so blessed that this accreditation is done by National Council for National Assessment and Accreditation Council, Bangalore. So we are accredited with A grade with all the efforts of our dedicated faculty and students of this college. Sir, I would like to advise you that this is 70 years old college. It was established in 1954, 7 decades old, and we are affiliated to Punjab University, Chandigarh. In the last 2 rounds, we were A grade and we improved this time, and we are blessed to be associated with Major General Gulshan Sharma ji, who is so kind. He arranges so many programs like capacity building for prospective teachers, for transformative learning, and so on. And resource persons from all over the world are there to teach us how to use technology, artificial intelligence, TOT, and in the teaching learning process. So, as you know, Finland is on the top in the happiness index and also on the top in the education system. But, sir, we are no less. We are preparing teachers, prospective teachers, for good quality, providing good quality education to the country. Our alumni are not only in India, but they are in throughout the world. New Zealand, Australia, to you name any country, our alumni will be present in all parts of the world, and they make us proud by doing best in the field of education. So another thing, this was topic is most relevant for our teachers, and all our students have joined this webinar, and our teachers, our students, they have joined this, and I hope this will be a very useful thing for us. You have given us the vision. So our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji, gave us new education policy 2020, and we are working on those lines. We are preparing and we are gearing for the implementation. As Kulkarni ji said, we are focusing on examination and assessment, whereas we should focus on pedagogy. So this concept of SISU as a pedagogy is new to us. We will try to learn and get new information. So lot many good information has been shared by our esteemed speakers, like concept of forest classrooms, virtual classrooms. So it's new to us now, but we would like our students and faculty should get an opportunity to get an exposure. And on behalf of Chandigarh administration, I invite our esteemed speakers to Chandigarh, and especially to our college, Government College of Education. Whenever you are in India, perhaps in the next month or so. And we would love to visit your country, your system of education, how you excel in every field. So this is a golden opportunity for us to use this platform, to be part of this webinar. So it's an eye-opener. We got so many new ideas. I'm really thankful to Major Gulshan Sharma, who gives us such kind of opportunities and to interact with esteemed speakers from various parts of the country. And my heartfelt gratitude to all the esteemed speakers, especially.
Thank you, ma'am.
So
Thank you,
nice.
ma'am. Thank you very much.
Truly grateful on behalf of
Thank
my
you.
entire faculty and students of my college. Truly grateful.
Thank you.
And
That is, yes, thank you. That is Dr. Sapna Nanda, the principal. And heartiest congratulations. You gave such a good news that, you got the accreditation, and the NAC is moving ahead. Now, from Finland and from India via route, let me take you to Canada for a short while. Vikasji, you come from the tourism, hospitality, and aviation industry of Canada. Short, crisp on the skill side, on the India Teachers Day, what would you like to? Because you studied in Indian system, you had moved thereafter to Dubai. From Dubai, you went to Canada, and you have worked so hard, and you have come up in the ladder. What would you like to share over here? Because something very nicely, Haramji made a mention, and Sapna ma'am endorsed that we should not emphasize too much on assessment, exams, and all. Rather, we should go for pedagogy. And now, from the skills to competencies, competencies to talent, talent to passion, passion to further delivery system. So, Vikasji, let's have you from Canada. What do you wish to say?
Thank you, everybody, for having me here. First of all, I want to wish everybody in India and wherever they celebrate a very, very happy Teachers' Day. Every human being on this planet, if we attach a word called success, there is a teacher behind the success which happens. It cannot happen without being taught. And that is the priority number one, which Finland has approached. I do want to say quickly, I went to a place called Espoo, ESPOO. That is the birthplace of Nokia. That is the place where the innovative idea came, and our distinguished speakers would definitely endorse it. I was doing a project in Finland for a very, very short time. We were trying to see the airport's expansion, and then Espoo came up. Can we have an airport? There are so many industries over there, which is going to come, like more and more. And one of the things which I really noticed that the education is more on a practical based. Canada adopts the same as well. I'm so happy that our distinguished speaker showed us the photos of a classroom and how the bags are kept outside. My own kids do the same exactly in the school because they are not burdened with a lot of homework. They are not burdened with a lot of tests. And Miss Aditi, as one of the audiences right now on the platform, also asked a question about that, and I really thank her for asking that the system which is being adopted. I really wish when I was a student in India, it would have been the same. Uh, it's there is no pressure. The whole idea is to learn, and the whole idea is to implement. In India, as we say, ratification, I'm sorry, I'm using a Hindi word. It is not going to be mugging up. It is to understand the concept. And I can let you know that when anyone has a success, it will also lead to something called happiness. That's why the Finnish schools or the education system or the kids, when they grow up, they grow in a very happy, non-pressurized environment. Why will they not be happy in their life internally? So the foundation, when we put the foundation stone first, they are taught right from the day one how to understand things more than mugging up over there. Now, I do want to the only one thing which was not clear to me, and I would like to ask on this platform to our distinguished speakers is, when we spoke about the online presence of the educators globally. Now, we said that when we had the 6 weeks to the 6 months approach, did we have any specific course that the educators globally would be able to adapt and learn? Like, is that short term or is that long term? And then how do you all accept the fees? Is it a remittance or is it a sponsorship within Finland? That was the only thing which was striking in my mind. Everything else was really very clear, because I'm very sure that the other countries in the world are learning how the education system, how the educators are taught within Finland. So that's really the only one thing that I would like to know, please. And the session is great. The topic is excellent. And I think something like this is going to be very, very useful worldwide as well. So I really want to thank Dr. Sharmaji for putting something together, something like this, and having the whole world to understand how Finland operates and learning from the example and to implement worldwide. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, Vikasji. I think I would request Mr. Haram and Mr. Joykham to further take on those two parts, which Vikasji has asked. If would you like to share something on that?
Yes, sure. And and Mr. Vikas, thanks for your comments, and as well as it's really, you are really right that Canada is one very good example of how the adoption of the skills are there. Every year we host at least more than 100 odd teachers from Canada here in Finland, and they are really well versed of the curriculum which is based on skills. As well as we have one program which is mainly for early childhood education in Canada. So our diploma in early childhood education is more or less famous in Canada. In fact, it is one of the qualification which the Canadian preschools and early childhood education centers accept as a qualification for completion of the teacher's duties or teacher's qualification. They do it. And all these courses, what you see here actually, you will find the different durations, different structures, and we do offer scholarships for these programs as well. So if anyone is interested, please feel free to visit our website, and it will be really great opportunity for us to interact. So that's why we have programs which are hybrid in nature, self-paced, and as well as in-person programs are there. Because in Finland, our education is based on taxes. So our majority of the programs which are funded here locally based on the common government funding, they are for Finnish citizens because it's mainly for the based on taxes. But for international educators who would like to experiment, we have scholarships. It's not a free for all, but we have scholarships. So welcome to all to join to and see those scholarships. That's the answer to your second question, which was there actually about the program, and where you find it on website ccfinland.org on training. they are in person and as well as online, both combination. As well as those courses who are online, you can even have opportunity to interact with the Finnish teachers and experts. So even though we have online program, we really believe the in-person touch. That's why we always see that even if there is an online program, we always make sure that at the mid between the program, you will have a Finnish teacher to answer your queries and also try to see, experiment, share the examples. And we really know that it's not only Finland that has done a great work in education. Many other countries have done amazing work in education. So these courses are just not that what Finland has done in the world. These courses about what the others are also doing. So our courses are enriched because we get the teachers from across the globe to be in these courses. So that's in brief. Thanks.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's really amazing. And Dr. Anil Kumar Tamtaji, coming from the tribal area, hearty welcome to you. Because sometime back, Mr. Haram made a mention about Chhattisgarh. So
Yes.
I couldn't stop my temptation to send invite to you also of the Zoom. See, that is the flexibility. Initially, when I was discussing with Dr. Sapna ma'am, I told her that, ma'am, I'm inviting only you. But when I saw 4 questions coming from Canada, I said he deserves to come right over here in the forum. And when Haramji mentioned about Chhattisgarh, I thought that Madhya Pradesh also deserves to come right over here on the tribal area. So, minute you can take, and if you would like to talk something about your university, so that they know a little bit and extend invitation to them to visit your place as well. Because they're going to Chhattisgarh most of the time. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. First of all, very good evening to all the respected dignitaries who are presented here. My special thank to Major Dr. Gulshan Sharma, who have given this opportunity and who is really, as just Professor Sapna Nanda Madam share, that he always keep motivating to not only the teachers as well as the student, because we have seen him here. He always take to each student, whether he's UG or PG, whether he's any scholar, right? So he always keep motivating to each one of us. So really, sir, I'm very grateful to you, right? And I also like I give my warm regard to Professor Heramt Kulkarni sir and Professor Vikas Malhotra sir, Joachim Rowley sir, who have shared his beautiful presentation about what are the opportunities for the Indian student, as well as the teachers, right? How they can collaborate, research, how they can share the knowledge, whether it is from Finland, whether it is from the India. And I also thanks to Professor Sapna Nanda ma'am for sharing her thought about their upgradation. So I congratulate to you, ma'am. One thing I would like to add, that when I was just hearing Professor Hiram Kulkarni sir, when he just talking about Chhattisgarh, right? So, sir, I'm also living here. I'm working with the Indira Gandhi National Tribal University, which is the first tribal university in India. And which is I on behalf of our university, I invite all of you to visit this university. Here you will see the culture, rich culture of the tribal, right? And in here, like, you will see beautiful tribal paintings. Sometimes you will also find the things which have been used, the tribal people in the local area. Cuisines you can also taste here. What are their food habits are here. And still, like, there are some project is also going on the tribal culture. So in fact, I am also involved in one of the tribal tourism circuit, which is located in the Gujarat. So, in fact, there are many things which need to be discovered here. Still, there are. I will just say the simple word here. This is like Soni ki Khan, right? Okay, so here, if whenever you will, sir, come, you will visit to Chhattisgarh, so please just do you share your plan with me. Definitely, I'll take your communication detail with the professor Major Dr. Gulshan Sharma, sir, and definitely I'll take to visit here, sir. Please do visit our university. You will see here that what is actually the tribal culture, how they are, their different ornaments, their different arts were here. So our university is promoting the tribal culture, tribal art. You will see when you will visit to here in like in library, in our the admin building, you will see beautiful tribal paintings are here, and that is made by the local tribal people. So this is the beauty of this tribal university. We are trying to promote their culture, and also we are trying to help them in economic. So our always like being associated with the tourism industry, hospitality industry, we always trying to keep them how we can involve the tribal people in economic activity through the tourism, through the hospitality. So with this, really, I have seen the Dr. Joachim Rowley presentation. So definitely, I have, there are many thoughts are now coming through my mind. So definitely, I will share with you and with the guidance and support of Major Sharma sir and other of the respective dignitaries will do some good thing, right? So with this, thank you so much, sir, for just inviting me in this a great world forum, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Anilji. Thank you very much. You're doing amazing job in that area. And certainly, I would request both of them to accept the invitation. When they go to Chhattisgarh, they should come to your place as well. And Dr. Sapna Nanda has also invited them to the city beautiful, La
Yes.
Carbosier city over here, and one of the oldest institution which has done wonders in entire North India. And of course, Mr. Vikas Malhotra told they are already following the pattern of Finland. Okay,
Yes.
now before we come to the concluding remarks, I would request Mr. Joycom and Mr. Haram to kindly give their final conclusion. Few questions left over, but time paucity is there. I cannot. Somebody asked, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people have asked, what is the duration until what class the SISU box is? A lot of people have asked this question. That it goes till what standard and what exactly do we? So if we can take that one question, that would be very quick, and then we will conclude. Please.
Sure. I will be very quick and brief about this part. So SISU box is an actual physical box of the teaching aids, games, activities, which will make the entire curriculum a play and fun based. And we have adopted and customized this curriculum as per the various NCERT requirements and as per the NEP requirements. Similar box is also in South Korea, which adopt the Nuri curriculum of the South Korea. Similar box is also in Saudi Arabia, in Middle East, also in US, and so on. What is the specialty of this part? This is for the preschoolers, grade 1, 2, and up to grade 11. Sorry, up to age 11. You will find different curriculum boxes. And these boxes, this box's curriculum is based on the theme. So we have a basic concepts of the reading literacy curriculum, as well as we have a STEM curriculum. We have a curriculum for the ACL, social emotional learning, and as well as for the physical activity, which is called Satu Yoga. And we have also the cerebration, which is about the brain development curriculum. So these boxes are there, and I definitely welcome. So please search only for SISU box on Amazon. You will find, even in India, if you search SISU box Amazon, you will find it, and you can order that various activities which are there quite actively, and as well as you can see it on our website, ccefinland.org. CCE, Council for Creative Education.org. Maybe I would like to just give a quick comment to Dr. Anil Thamta. Thank you very much for inviting us, and I will definitely be happy to be there.
Yes, yes.
One of the interesting part of this part, we are very close to Chhattisgarh because it was a first project of us actually where I visited Bastar, which is one of the remotest area in Chhattisgarh, and they have something called as a Bastar art.
Yes,
It's a
that
very
is
famous, and with this Bastar art, we realized that we don't have a communication of this art in our regular NCERT curriculum. We have just a chapter about Bastar art, but that doesn't help. So what we have done in the past, in 2017-18, we found that the students in Bastar area, they have amazing art capability, which is coming from the generations. So we asked them, why not to convert the history of Chhattisgarh into different Bastar art diagrams. They are the diagrams where just to show you that these diagrams look like this actually. So these are the kind of various formats in which the Bastar art been designed actually. And for this part, they developed the history for grade 5 and grade 6 books. They have put it in these diagrams, and now it's a kind of a very unique program how they are designing the history books, not in some alien language. For them, even for them, the language which come from Delhi is alien. For them, the language of their own art is very connected to their own land. So they are creating. So I really admire the cultural context of that, and I really would like to know more about your work in future.
yes, yes.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for the valuable input. A few questions have come where people are asking what exactly is happening between 18th to 20th of September in Delhi.
Okay, Joachim, you will take it.
Cool. Absolutely, my pleasure. We'll be traveling to this magnificent student fair called DIDAC,
Yes.
which is this year going to be hosted in New Delhi, and it will be gathering all sorts of educational professionals from all around the world to talk about, to network, to hear and learn about new innovations in this same space, as well
Okay.
as outside of the main event. There are going to be side events organized also by our official member called Education Finland, and these kind of networking events as well. And whereas there are the official activities, but we are constantly looking forward and excited to meet inspiring educators, inspiring organizations and schools and leaders to talk about and taking this further. So I will leave mine and Mr. Haram's contact details in the chat as well. So don't hesitate to reach out if you like to continue the conversation, if you have any further questions, or just like to say hi. So I'm always looking forward of meeting educators all around the world. And it's been a real pleasure of meeting you all. It's warms up my heart today.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Very kind of you, ladies and gentlemen. Very scintillating and very, very captivating session. And I do not know, but as long as I have grown up and all these years, when I look back, maybe I feel it's the first time that on India Teachers' Day, Finland and India is organizing such a session together on a common platform. I have not witnessed at least. So my great regards and gratitude to the team from Finland. And at the same time, others, those who have joined, do visit Finland. People, those are here, go with your teams, visit, see what all they are doing. And at the same time, we extend a warm invitation to them also to visit your prestigious places, and they can have a look over here. And finally, you know, being an elder person, I can make one request. And generally, what happens is when you take a benefit of the age and biological age, people do accept that, and they say, "Oh, it's a good gesture." Today is 5th of September. It's a India Teachers' Day. There is going to be a Saturday, 5th of October. That's going to be United Nations World Teachers' Day, World Educators' Day common platform. Why not to have one more session on the World Teachers' Day with your organization and a little bit more elaborate because a lot of things are unattended over here today. How there is a more collaboration than a competition, then how basically up to 12th standard there are no exams and still the society is growing and becoming a landmark for the whole world as far as education ecosystem is concerned. So maybe if it's convenient, we would have another session with Finland on 5th of October on the World Teachers Day. We'll have another special program and let's set the milestone and thereafter some more things in the near future. I think it's a global family and we need good educators. And when I talk about educator, it is not a specific principal or headmaster or vice principal or a subject teacher. No, no, no. All of us together, whether you're a coach, you're a counselor, you're a vocational teacher, you're a technocrat, you're anybody, you can give so much as in this particular confluence of the podlock. Let's get together. If we need global peace, if we are looking forward to global peace, that has to start from the base, and that is the foundation where from the education. And when we talk about education, it's our educators, it's our teachers, and they need personal and professional growth. With these words, Haram, Kulkarni ji and Joachim Rowley, great thanks to you, gratitude to you, and at the same time, Dr. Anil Tamta, Dr. Sapna Nanda, and Mr. Vikas Malhotra. Thank you very much for joining us over here. This entire program is dedicated to all our teachers and to everybody whosoever is the part of the education ecosystem. Look forward meeting you. Our journey starts every evening at 9 p.m. in India because that time suits everybody in Europe and it suits others also. Today was a special program, so I'm not going to have a program today at 9 p.m. We will meet tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. on our onward journey where education and teachers and everybody whosoever is in the system, we all got to move together, walk together. Namaskar, Jai Hind.